Your eyes are crying right now. Not sobbing, not even close. But at this exact moment, a quiet, invisible process is running inside your body that never stops. Not when you sleep, not when you laugh, not even when you feel nothing at all. It has been running since the day you were born, and most people go their entire lives without ever wondering why. Today, we're going to find out what these invisible tears actually are, and why your body produces them every single minute of your life. We'll look at what's really inside them, and you might be surprised that it's nothing like what you'd expect. And then there's the part that almost nobody stops to think about. What happens to all of it? Where does it go? And what goes wrong when the system quietly breaks down? Let's start at the source. Tucked into the upper outer corner of each eye socket sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the lacrimal gland. You've probably never thought about it. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't hurt. But it is working constantly, producing a slow, steady flow of fluid that coats your eye surface around the clock. There are also smaller accessory lacrimal glands located beneath the eyelids, adding to that supply. Together, they are the origin of what scientists call basal tears. Basal tears. That's the official name for the constant background tears your eyes produce every moment of every day. They're not the tears that roll down your cheeks during a sad movie. They're not the sudden flood that comes when dust hits your eye. They're quieter than that, nearly invisible, yet absolutely essential. Without them, your eyes would begin to fail within hours. The surface of your cornea, which is exquisitely sensitive, would dry out, crack, and blur. Vision itself depends entirely on a film, so thin you cannot see it. Every time you blink, and you blink roughly 15 to 20 times per minute without even deciding to, that thin layer of basal tears is redistributed across your entire eye surface. Think of a windshield wiper spreading fluid across glass. Your eyelid is doing exactly that. Each blink resets the film, keeps it even, flushes away tiny debris, and gives your eye a fresh protective coat. It's maintenance running in the background, automatic and relentless. Now here's where it gets genuinely fascinating. Basal tears aren't just water. If you looked at them under a microscope, you'd find an unexpectedly complex mixture. They contain water, yes, but also electrolytes, lipids, proteins, and enzymes. Researchers have identified specific proteins in your tear film that most people would never associate with tears at all: lysozyme and lactoferrin, both of which actively fight bacterial infections. Your eyes are not just moist, they are chemically defended. And the structure of that tear film is something engineers might admire. It's built in 3 distinct layers, each one doing a different job. The outermost layer is oily. It sits on top and acts like a seal, slowing evaporation so the whole system doesn't dry out between blinks. Beneath that is the watery middle layer, the thickest of the 3, which hydrates the eye surface and carries away dust and debris. And right at the bottom, clinging to the cornea itself, is a layer of mucus that acts like a glue, helping the tears actually stick to the surface rather than sliding off. 3 layers, each one precisely engineered by millions of years of evolution to solve a specific problem. Remove the oil, and the water evaporates too fast. Remove the mucus, and the water beads off instead of spreading. Remove the water itself, and the eye surface burns and scratches with every blink. All 3 have to be present, balanced, and constantly refreshed. The moment one layer starts failing, the whole system struggles, and you feel it immediately. So how much of this fluid is your body actually making? Here's a number that tends to surprise people. The average human eye produces somewhere between 0.75 and 1.1 milliliters of tear fluid every single day, just from basal production alone. That works out to a basal secretion rate of roughly 1.2 microliters per minute continuously. It sounds like a small amount, but added up across both eyes over a year, and your body has produced a remarkable volume of this precisely engineered fluid, quietly, without you noticing a drop. But here's the question that follows immediately. If your eyes are producing this fluid all the time, why aren't your cheeks constantly wet? Where does it all go? The answer is a small drainage channel at the inner corner of each eye, a duct that leads the fluid down through the bone of your face and empties it, quietly, into the back of your nose. That faint saltiness you sometimes taste at the back of your throat when you cry hard, that's the overflow from this very system. Most of the time, the drain keeps up perfectly with the supply, and you feel nothing. And this is the point where the system's elegance becomes its vulnerability. Because basal tear production is continuous, anything that disrupts it, even slightly, starts to show up as discomfort almost immediately. Dry air, screens, contact lenses, certain medications, even just staring at something without blinking, all of these can tip the balance. The film thins, develops gaps, and the cornea underneath sends out a pain signal. Your eyes start to sting, they feel gritty, they feel tired. The system is telling you, quietly, that the maintenance is falling behind. Dry eye, as it's medically known, is essentially a failure of the basal tear system. Not necessarily a failure to produce enough fluid, but often a failure of one of those three layers. If the oil layer breaks down, for example, the water evaporates too quickly, and the overall film is unstable even if the glands themselves are working fine. This is why simply adding eye drops doesn't always solve the problem. You have to target the right layer of a three-layer system, and most people have no idea the layers even existed. Now here's where everything you assumed about tears shifts. We tend to think of crying as the interesting part of the tear story, the emotional release, the visible sign of feeling. But researchers who study the lacrimal system have come to see it quite differently. Emotional tears and reflex tears, the kind that come when something irritates your eye, are actually separate responses built on top of a foundation that has nothing to do with either of them. Basal tears came first. They are the baseline. The other types are variations on a system that was already running. And not all tears are created equal. That's not just a saying, it's biochemistry. The fluid in your basal tears has a different composition from the fluid in your emotional tears. The proteins are different. The concentration is different. Scientists have found that emotional tears contain substances not found in basal tears at all. Your body is running different formulas for different situations, using the same glands, the same ducts, but producing distinct outputs. The eye doesn't just respond to the world, it reads it and adjusts its chemistry accordingly. Think about what this actually means. Right now, as you watch this, your lacrimal glands are running. They were running when you woke up this morning. They ran while you slept last night, more slowly, but never stopping. They will run after this video ends, after you eat dinner, after you turn the lights off. There is no moment of your conscious life in which this process pauses. It is among the most consistent things your body does, more reliable than hunger, more constant than thirst, and you've never once told it to. That constancy matters more than most people realize. Basal tears are not a side feature of the eye. They are the condition under which the eye can function at all. The cornea has no blood vessels. It gets its oxygen and nutrients partly from the tear film itself. It is cleaned by the tear film. It is protected from pathogens by the antimicrobial proteins suspended in that film. The eye as an organ depends on a liquid layer that is never allowed to disappear. Vision, in a very direct sense, is made possible by tears you never cry. There's something worth sitting with in that idea. We tend to associate tears with moments of intensity, grief, joy, pain, relief. Those moments feel significant precisely because tears feel rare. But the truth is that tears are the most ordinary thing happening in your body right now. The significant ones ride on top of a process that never needed a reason. Your eyes chose function long before they ever chose feeling. And that's the real answer to the question we started with. Your body keeps producing tears because your eyes require them to survive every single second. Not just the dramatic seconds, but the quiet, unremarkable ones too. Basal tears are the body's commitment to keeping you able to see the world clearly, even when nothing interesting is happening, even when you feel perfectly fine, even when you don't notice them at all. They are maintenance as an act of care, invisible, automatic, and relentless. So the next time your eyes feel dry, or you notice the faint sting of a screen after too long, that's not a malfunction. That's the most sophisticated maintenance system in your body asking, very politely, for a blink. And now that you know what's actually in those tears, what they're built from, and how carefully your body guards them, Maybe a blink feels like a slightly different thing. Here's a question to carry with you. If a system this precise runs constantly without your awareness, how many other invisible processes are quietly keeping you intact right now? Ones we haven't even thought to name yet. If you'd like to keep exploring questions like that one, stay tuned. There's a lot more strangeness just beneath the surface of everyday life.